feature presentation.
This is Ed McMahon. And now, here's Andrew.
Andrew Z. I love that Andrew Z. I said Andrew Z. In the morning, it's time to wake up. Andrew Z. In the morning, yeah.
Come on! Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is Monday, February 8th, 2021, in the year of our Lord. I'm Andrew Z. Demetrius Nicodemus. Eastside, Southside, Gina. Chris Tiefel. Donny P. And why the hell aren't we off? Because this is like a holiday? Because Demetrius says we do shows.
We do shows.
Well, let's get this thing going. Good morning, everybody.
Andrew Z. In the morning.
Good morning, everybody. Where's Ashley at?
Oh, like you said, today's like a holiday. She's got to work.
What do you mean she's got to work?
She's got to work today, so she's like in total work mode, man.
Oh,
getting ready for work right now.
Oh man, all right.
Because normally she works Wednesdays and Fridays, but this week they switched the schedule around, so they work Monday, Wednesday. So she's adjusting right now.
Oh, I gotcha.
That's the story.
Congratulations, that story you're sticking with.
Yeah.
Congratulations to her. I saw that she finally passed her real estate license test.
Yeah, so such big news. So I'll pass the word.
Right.
She'll be on tomorrow, so you guys can tell her also. But yeah, I mean, just talk about how happy. I mean, she was just so happy all weekend. Like,
I'm sure it was good for the house too.
Yes, yes.
And let's just. I can assume that there was a sudden end to the dry January.
Sudden, yes. Well, yeah. January's been over for a while now, but.
Yeah,
right. January, first week of February. So she
allowed
allowed herself to celebrate a little.
So let's talk. I guess Super Bowl is the main thing. Tom Brady and the Patriots killed the Chiefs last night. I don't think there's any doubt that Brady is the greatest in history. I mean, you hear the LeBron talk and the Jordan talk and the Tiger Woods talk, but Tom Brady has probably got to be above all of them. I mean,
I think it's sports specific. I don't think you can just say he's the greatest athlete of all time because he just played. I mean, he's the greatest football player to ever play the game. But I don't know if it's fair to say he's better than Jordan. He's better than Tiger Woods. Each one of them. I would never say that Jordan's better than Tom Brady because Jordan never played football. And actually, let's be real, he never really played baseball. But I mean, in each of their fields, I would say absolutely.
Yeah,
drop his ass in a cricket match. See how he does.
Yeah, put him on 18 with Tiger and see how that all works out.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess he's still the greatest of his sport, and he goes in that. He hangs out in that club with the greatest of all time in any sport because
dude, you talk about a cat who can peak. I mean, he was a mediocre college football player at best, and then to come out and geez, you want to talk about the ugly girl that blossomed when she got to college. Like, that's who he was. You were like,
he got cheese all that.
Yeah,
for football.
He's 43 and he's going to come back. It's like, I mean, I would assume you get bored. I mean, it's not for the money. You could, I mean, every time you go out
hates
there,
his family.
Apparently, because every time you go out there, these boys are big. You risk injury or life-threatening injury, or it's like, do you get out now? You spared most of the hurt. You're already the greatest, but this dude is already coming back next year.
But
I don't know. It's like, what else do you have to prove?
I know.
I think he's attained a level of safety now in the NFL that only people could have dreamed of. Who wants to tackle the greatest football player in history and hurt him? No one wants to hurt the greatest. That is crazy. That would be like sneaking up on Muhammad Ali and sucker punching him. You know, you just.
Here was this was not Patrick Mahomes' mom's best moment. Patrick Mahomes' mom tweeted out at Giselle Official, "If you have to have the ref on your team, is that really winning? LOL, LOL."
I think what his whole thing was, there was an article that came out in 2018 that pointed out that Giselle's net worth is about twice what his is. So I think he's just trying to make up that difference because he just can't handle that.
Well, she had there was a thing a few years back where she was caught on camera saying something like, if his team would help him, they could have won, or something like that.
That.
So I'm sure
he can't catch his own passes.
Yeah, that's what she said. He can't catch his own passes.
Nobody can.
But here's the thing, Mom. Come on, what are you doing?
Because
Mahomes looked terrible. We talked about it. You know, it was his first Super Bowl. There's no bigger spotlight than
that wasn't his first Super Bowl.
It was his second one.
Okay. But compared to 7 or 10, compared to 10, I mean, like we talked about Tom Brady, that's just another game for him. And Mahomes didn't look good. I mean, he was pressured the whole game. The defense of Tampa Bay was bad. I mean, in a good way. And it was just it was a rough day for Mahomes. To blame it on the refs, dude, it wasn't even a close game. You can blame if it's 7 points, if it's 3 points, you can blame it on the ref. But
dude, if you're new to the porn industry and you find out that you've just been cast in a movie with Jenna Jameson, eventually comparisons will be made, and you're not going to come up well. I mean, she does things with balls that nobody could.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm gonna say this, and Tom Brady he's obviously excellent, and he obviously was the better on the better team last night. But if you look at stats, Patrick Mahomes comes up above Tom Brady on every single stat. So when we say he's the greatest of all time, I feel like the only thing he has at this point is experience, and give Mahomes another 10 years and it's going to he's going to be better than Tom Brady.
I don't know better than Tom Brady, but he's
I mean, his stats are already literally better than Tom Brady's. Every single stat of his.
Yeah, but it's easy to take someone's first year and then you take that out 20 years. There's a lot.
So you can take
Tom,
any 4 years of Tom Brady's and the 4 years of Patrick Mahomes and compare them. I've done it. And his stats are better.
Yeah, but he's 25. Yeah. I would expect him to be better than the 40-some-odd-year-old.
Okay, yes, for that argument, you can go back to 2000 and take the first 4 years, or Tom Brady didn't start for the first 4 years, but if you go back, you can compare any 4 years of Tom Brady's career, and Patrick Mahomes' stats are better.
See,
like no matter how you swing it, that's true.
That is so flawed, though.
Yeah, the difference is between Mahomes and Brady is Brady has been consistent over his entire career. Consistency. And when you hold up your hands and then you show 7 rings and you've been to the Super Bowl 10 times and you've done it with the New England Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I don't think it's an easy comparison. I
don't know. I don't know.
That don't make the player.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the halftime show.
No, I know. I mean, people concentrate so much on the stats, and they get lost in the stats.
Pass completion kind of matters. The number of turnovers kind of matters.
It doesn't necessarily tell you how good they're going to be in the next game.
But you could take you could take a lot of rookies who won 1 year, and then you could say, oh, see better stats than this person, and in 25 years they're gonna. I mean, it just doesn't work. Like there's too many factors.
That's why I said you're not hearing what I'm saying. You can compare. Take any 4 years of Tom Brady's career. Go back to the beginning if you want. I don't care where. Take any 4 years and you compare the stats. And Patrick Mahomes his stats are better. When Patrick Mahomes is going to outshine Tom Brady at some point.
No
That's
way.
going to happen.
No way. I disagree.
He may have a better. He may have a good year. He may have a better. There's not a chance. I mean, there's so many quarterbacks that have had great years and great 2 years and great 3 years, but over the length to have 10 Super Bowls, Mahomes going to do better than that? No.
I know there are some people who've never seen the Super Bowl, spent an entire career leading in stats, and ask them if they feel like their career has been a success. They will say no because they've never been to a Super Bowl.
Right, I agree with that. But the thing is that it's more than that's the quarterback. Giselle was right. In fact, the quarterback can't make it to the Super Bowl on their own. So it's the team you're surrounded with too. So I mean, the Kansas City's defense is a little bit on the sad side. It's not the greatest. So when you don't have a great defense, then they're going to score 31 points. But my argument is really not that Tom Brady's not great, because I do believe he is, but I do believe that Patrick Mahomes is going to outshine him at some point.
And I can look at it objectively because I don't care about football and I don't care about Tom Brady, but you just can't discount.
I feel like this would be the same conversation people had about LeBron when LeBron first came into the NBA, and somebody's like, oh, he's going to be better than Jordan. And people are like, oh, there's no way he's better than Jordan. He's never going to be better than Jordan. And the same kind of conversation.
He's not better than Jordan.
Well, I don't disagree with that.
There's not even a conversation about that. They're two totally different players, and Jordan is the best to ever play the game.
I'm not saying that because I didn't compare the two of them because I agree with you, Demetrius. They are two totally different players, and they both changed the game for their time. So I feel like. So, what I said was this conversation is the same kind of conversation that happened about Jordan and LeBron by other people, and that conversation happened.
And it's still having. The people are still having. So, welcome to ESPN. Go ahead, Donny.
Yeah. So I'm gonna help Gina out. Basically, the question before this game was, how many Super Bowls does Mahomes have to win? Let's say he has a great career. Like, how many does he have to win for that conversation to be held
8
forever? Like, well, I don't. I mean,
8.
I think
ring on every finger.
But in Gina's
7 more.
To take Gina's side, I do think if Mahomes wins like 1 or 2 more, there will always be talk if he keeps playing like this because of the productivity, just the amount of productivity. But I was just saying, it'll at least be a discussion. It'll at least be a conversation, and that's fun. It's fun to have.
It won't last that long. He won't play as long as Tom Brady has played. He'll be injured in the next 7 years and have to quit the game.
Yeah, I mean, to make it to 43 is pretty stunning. It really is. I mean,
that's a great offensive line. That's what that is.
Can we talk about the best part of the Super Bowl, which was the weekend?
Yes. Okay. First of all, I think the best comment was Rob Sample, best comment on the internet, who said, "I've never said I want the weekend to end until now." This was good too. I stole this one when you order.
Yeah, this was
Wish.
that was pretty funny. Can I tell? Like, what do people? What do you want from a Super Bowl?
I'm gonna tell you exactly what I want.
Like, what is it supposed to look like? Why is it everybody says it sucks every time they see it?
Well, the first problem was the audio. The audio was shit, and I don't know how to describe it, but I think you'll understand. It sounded like we were getting stadium audio instead of someone plugging the cord in so we could get television audio. It sounded like we were listening to the background echo of the songs. So that was the first thing. When you get shitty audio, that already puts you behind the 8 ball. Number one. Number two, you have to remember your audience. Everyone is watching the Super Bowl. Like, I was driving home last night because we watched the pregame show at my mom's house and then came home. My mom has got her vaccines and stuff, and so we went over there and we go and you look in the houses
to test them out. Everybody breathe on her.
Yeah, if they really work. So every house that you drive by has all got the game on. So everyone is watching the Super Bowl, especially this time because
people's houses.
you see the TVs on as you're driving.
Research. Research, Chris. Research. You know what you tell the cops.
So everyone's watching this game. It's kids, it's moms, it's people that love country, it's people that love this. The weekend, there's no one that can pull off the halftime show by themselves. There has to be wow factors. There was no wow factor. It's like, oh my God, here comes Blake Shelton. What? Oh God, Cardi B is bumped out. It has to be an ensemble. Those are the greatest performances. It's not hard, but you have to. The Grammys do it. You mix country with pop. You drop in a rap in there. You put some crazy shit in there. Maybe some celebrities pop in.
Janet Jackson titty.
Yeah. Janet Jackson, Justin
Somebody
Timberlake.
said they should have Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake come back, but this time Janet Jackson rips Justin Timberlake's clothes off.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
Exactly. But it's that type of stuff, and it's got to be generational. Like The Weeknd should have come out with Usher or Salt and Pepper or some, they really needed to hit more genres. They need to hit country because so many people are like, why is he wearing jock straps on his face? If you weren't a fan of The Weeknd, which a lot of people aren't because they're all watching the Super Bowl, you're not gonna. Those are just for people that love The Weeknd. They're not gonna understand what the fuck that was.
The problem with the halftime show is they don't actually pay for the performance, so the person they've got no motivation to put on a great show.
He paid $7 million out of it.
They're not getting paid. I'm sorry if I'm not getting paid. I'm doing something as a favor. I'm not going balls out.
Chris,
went balls
you
out.
have the opportunity. If somebody gave you the opportunity to perform in front of 30 some odd million people, 100 million people, 100 million people around the world for
most
15
of which
minutes.
aren't going to enjoy my show because if they wanted to listen to me, they would have already been listening to me.
Not true, Christopher.
100%
How do
true.
you wake up in the morning and assume that your day is going? Who are you, Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day? That nothing ever changes.
When it comes to an artist like The Weeknd, I fucking hate that name. But when it comes to him, if anyone who wants to listen to him is already listening to him.
No, that's not true. That's like saying you do one show and then the one audience you perform in front of is the audience that you're going to get forever.
One show. He's had an entire freaking. He tours. He's got albums out. He's freaking advertised everywhere. If you want to listen to The Weeknd, you're already listening to The Weeknd.
The sad part is if you were new to see him for the first time, if you were exposed to him for the first time, having bad audio doesn't help because you can't appreciate the songs. So like I said, that was really bad. The way they engineered that thing. But it's got to be an ensemble. You have to give people wows, stuff that they aren't expecting. And
but
from
that
The Weeknd, everything from the performance you could expect from The Weeknd.
But The Weeknd, I mean, honestly, when you break it down, that sounds more like an ego thing, does it not? Than anything else, than a planning, because he was like, I don't need to bring people on. I'm The Weeknd. I'm going to do what I want to do. This is totally about me.
Totally agree. When you think you can pull that off yourself, that is a total ego thing because you just can't. There has to be a lot more wow factor. Yeah. It was a fine. If you're at a concert, it was great. But if you're looking at they build it as the biggest show of the year, which it is supposed to be every year, that wasn't the biggest show of the year. It just
There was a point where he was like in a room full of a bunch of flashing lights, and then I woke up and he was on the field because I think I had a seizure. I don't know what the shit. I literally had to look away. I got dizzy watching. I was like,
oh my god! The memes of him like trying to find his way through there were hysterical. One of them was like, "That's me trying to check out at IKEA, looking for the bathroom at 2 a.m. in the club."
I just like how he said jock straps on their face.
That's what everyone was saying. Look, there he is.
I mean, yeah. I know the backstory and know what it was supposed to be, and it still looked like jock straps to me. So
yeah, exactly. We know it was a texting while driving thing, was it not? That he was doing.
No. It was his plastic surgery thing. It was a play on that. His like 2-month long plastic surgery thing.
But if you're not vested into the weekend, you don't know. That's another arrogance thing. It's like you assume that everyone's following my career, so they know what the dancing jock straps are all about.
How dare you talk to me? It's like having somebody just start talking to you about the 5th episode of Game of Thrones, and you're like, first of all, bitch, don't assume I watch Game of Thrones.
Thank you.
Like, I mean, I like the weekend, and I still don't.
I do too.
This was inside jokes that I don't know. It's like, what? Wait, what are you doing here, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking the face jock strap, but
I would rock a face jock strap as well.
I need one.
It's like 10 of the weekend's friends were just like, dude, he said he was going to put this show on just for us, and he was not bullshit.
Some of your dickheads need to rock the face jock strap.
Georgia, like Georgia brings up a good point. Our producer Georgia, like a Backstreet Boy and Sync, like coming together, a big old show, and then you drop in the Spice Girls. People would blow their mind. Like I can put together a halftime show that would blow people's minds.
Right?
And then
the entire audience would have been vaccinated because they're all over 65.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but that's my music, and I'm younger than you.
Like
so...
what I would have. Here's what I would have done. I would have done NKOTB. Boom. Then I would have done Backstreet Boys, boom. Then I would have done NSYNC, boom. Then I would have done what's the one the kids like now? The where they're all on their own now, but they were together for a while. Oh, not O-Town, no.
One Direction? Is that what
Andrew, you've already failed when you find yourself saying the kids.
One Direction. Thank you. One Direction. So
they're literally kids.
How crazy would that have been? And then all 4 of the boy bands come together at the end for like a big We Are the World type song to bring the country together, and the Spice Girls pop in. Bam. Now, who wouldn't have lost their shit to see that show right there?
The executives would have lost their shit because that show just cost about $50 million off rip.
Everyone would have done that.
Or you could do a Young MC. You could do Coolio. You could do
Tone Loc.
The concert was fantastic.
You could do Tone Loc.
Naughty by Nature.
And then 2 of the cats from Naughty by Nature. And then it would be.
Tretch was there, wasn't he?
Who would not lose their shit over that show?
See, that's the shit that I do. That's the shit that I put together one show. That's the shit that I put together.
That was good.
You know what? But I would just love hearing. I think you could actually pull this off, Andrew, because your enthusiasm. They would need somebody to approach these people with the enthusiasm that you have just shown, because a lot of them are in their fuck it years, and they would need somebody whose infectious enthusiasm seeped into them, and they would all be standing on stage looking at each other going, how the fuck did you get here? Did Andrew call you too? Oh man, that guy had me. Dude, he said that they have the best hot dogs here ever, and I was like, fuck it, sign me up, bro, if it means I can get off the phone with you.
He's bad, he knows.
Yeah. He sent my daughter a pony. It was crazy. He made me do this show.
Dude, that would have been, but an all boy band and then drop in the Spice Girls at the end would have just been freaking mind blowing.
Are all the Spice Girls still alive?
Yes. What are you talking about?
They're not the Supremes.
You are really, you guys. I feel real attacked on this show.
Why?
Like, because they're only a little bit older than me, dude.
Oh,
well, no, I thought one of them OD'd. Like maybe or something.
I don't know.
No.
Well, you're like one of the whole Spice, not like just the ground up pieces. Yeah, you're like a whole clove.
The whole bay leaf.
Yeah.
Not real sure what I'm doing here or why I'm in the mix, but I'm there.
So anyway, that was the by the way, and producer Georgia brought this up. I mean, really, if you want to be wowed, you watched America the Beautiful with her.
Yeah,
and then I've never seen the national anthem done as a duet, and you pull up Eric Church and then that whoever the chick was, that was those two things.
Whoever that chick was, Andrew.
Who is she?
I've literally never heard of her before.
Does anyone besides Gina know who Jasmine
I can't believe you would not have heard of somebody like Jasmine Sullivan.
Really? No, I've never heard of her, but she killed it anyway. But
She does sound like a star of a Boston investigative show, though. But this is hi, Sullivan. How can we help you? This is Jasmine. She's the reckless girl who goes in and solves crime by the skin of her teeth.
But both those opening show performance, and there weren't a lot of pyrotechnics. There doesn't have to be fanfare; it just has to be a wow factor and great. I mean, I've never seen the national anthem arranged like that. People say you shouldn't change the arrangement. You did a duet. No one ever does a duet, and both those killed it. I thought it was great. That was amazing. Speaking of, you were talking about the detective. Did anyone stay up to watch The Equalizer with Queen Latifah?
Fuck no. Fuck her.
She's
Fuck
her. She's the female black. She's the female black Ryan Seacrest.
Wait, I want to know why D says fuck.
Pop her in. She's annoying.
Look, I was a big fan of Living Single, and I loved Living Single. I love Queen Latifah as a performer, but there are now only two equalizers. And it was that old British white guy back in the 80s. I don't know what his name was.
I don't know either.
And Denzel Washington. Those are the two equalizers on this planet. You don't get to show me an angry woman who just shoots guns and whoops ass and then look in the camera and say, when people can't solve problems, they call me. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody calls you. It was an accident that I dialed you. You better be sitting next to Denzel Washington and hand him the fucking phone.
Oh, you're such a sexist asshole. Go ahead, Gina.
I didn't really say. I just said it was the tagline was when you can't call the police, you call the Equalizer. I love it. I think she's such a badass, and I love Queen Latifah. So
I don't like the reason I don't like her is, like I said, she's the black female Ryan Seacrest, because she's the way that she's not going to offend anyone, and she's the way that the networks can act like they are diverse. Oh, we'll just put Queen Latifah in. Now we're good.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just doesn't.
She's black. She's a woman, and she's gay.
I don't know. Is she?
Yeah, she's openly gay,
right?
Yeah, is she? She's openly gay.
Okay, when did that happen?
I don't know.
You know what? Well, I think we all knew for a long time.
Look,
but
we all have friends that we went to high school with who like 10 years later are like, I'm gay, and we were like, bro, we knew in elementary school. We knew. We were waiting for you to know.
How about this one?
I don't know. Her being gay is not in her Wikipedia page.
How about this one? How about this one? I'm gonna shock you. I'm gay, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, total shocker." Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I couldn't have told. I didn't know it took you 20 minutes to eat that fucking hot dog. Are you kidding?
In the cafeteria,
Mister, no carbs for me. Just a straight dog, right?
Just a raw dog.
Yeah.
Apparently, she has neither confirmed nor denied.
I'll see.
She did confirm. I don't think it was like a directly "I fuck girls." Like I don't think she said that. But
although I would respect that.
When it comes to internets, I do trust Tiefel, and he says it's Gina against the internets. I don't think he's come out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I imagine if she was gay, it'd be an entry in her Wikipedia, and there's nothing. I searched all the variations. There's nothing in the Wikipedia about it.
I love Queen Latifah. I know she's like, I see she's amazing, and y'all can suck it. But I'm a big fan. I'm just saying it angers. There are some parts that I hold dear to my heart, and that is the Equalizer.
I agree.
And damn it, if you ain't Denzel or that old British white dude who has since passed, I don't want to hear it.
I love it.
Well, you got to watch the show, though. You got to give it at least a shot, though.
Edward
Woodward. Just be angry.
Yes,
Edward
I can.
Woodward. Yes, Edward Woodward. That was the Equalizer. Oh, that dude was so cool. The dude was amazing. He was the original Equalizer back in the 80s. Speaking of which, the 80s, did you see? I posted it on the Facebook page hopefully you guys follow the Facebook page if you're watching, but Punky Brewster is coming back. Oh, you guys aren't excited about Punky? I'm a year older than all of you, so
I was gonna say, I'm like, that's like
My brother had a huge crush on her back in the day.
Well, we looked it up because Colleen didn't know who Punky Brewster was, and I got so excited. It was 84 to 88 was Punky Brewster.
Soleil Moon Fry.
Soleil Moon Fry, and she had pigtails, and she wore 2 different color shoes, and they always
with an old man. Nobody questioned the relationship. Absolutely. That's a show you should bring back.
He adopted her, right? Well, now life has hit her. So now she's recently divorced. She's got kids. She's trying to get her life back.
Really? Because it sounds like she's gone through some trauma as a child. Has anybody talked to her about that?
That's the same concept, but they brought back That's So Raven.
That's exactly what I thought of. Was That So Raven?
She saw Blossom come back to television and make $15 million an episode, so she thought she could do it too.
And Fuller House. Didn't DJ come back as divorced single mom? Like it's man, like they think our generation we're all divorced single moms.
Well, I mean, honestly, you can literally sit back and go through their childhood on the show and pick out at what point you knew a relationship was never going to work out with her or anybody else.
What's the other one they got on this? So this is on Peacock. Peacock's trying to make a run for it. Saved by the Bell, Boy Meets World.
Isn't Fresh Prince coming back on Peacock too? I mean, I don't think they're coming back as a show, but I think the old show.
They did a reunion episode.
Yeah, they did a reunion episode on, I think it was HBO Max maybe, but I didn't get a chance to watch it. So speaking of that, there were a lot of commercials last night for the Paramount Network, which launches March 4th. The commercials were pretty good. They were all on the top of Paramount Mountain, because Paramount, their logo has got the big mountain, and they were all on the top of it. And I think that we as a generation have been scammed hard by cutting the cord. We really haven't cut the cord. You still need internets. You still need the internets. You still need the local channels. And now you've got like 4 or 5.
You don't need the local channels.
And now you got like 4 or 5 streaming services you guys are paying $9 or $10 for, which puts you at $100 all in a month. Have you really saved any money? That was just the biggest scam we've just taken the money from the cable companies and given it to these streaming companies. We haven't saved
I don't
money.
need any of the streaming companies because I have a Fire Stick. So
well, but you're unusual.
You can.
But that's illegal.
I mean, it's not. Nobody's going to come in and arrest me for having it.
I'm just saying that you're saving the money, but you're doing it. I mean,
could you imagine the streaming police who just they come in? It's a bunch of small, short sleeve white shirts, pocket protectors. Ma'am, step away from your Fire Stick.
Hide the Fire Stick. Hold on. The internet police is here.
We drove by your house in our Ford Escort, and we noticed that there was an unusual amount of streaming activity coming through your broadband.
Where you live, we know that you can't have Hulu and Peacock and Paramount. We saw you all 3 on your TV.
Did you also stream the Super Bowl without the express written permission of the NFL and CBS Sports?
I mean, it was on regular television, so no. That would be
it was probably on Prime too. They usually have football games on it.
It was on Channel 11, you guys. I just turned on the TV and there was the Super Bowl. So I guess yes, I did do that.
But just re-streaming is what he's talking about. Without the express written consent of NFL is prohibited.
I remember when we called it broadcasting. Now it's streaming. These kids
these days, God. All right, it's just after 7:00. Welcome to the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure that you
ignore everything from the last half hour.
It was good stuff.
Someone said I already pay a ton for cable. How many extra streaming services do they think I'm willing to pay for? Which is true. All they did was all the cable companies did was up the price of cable of the internet rather. And then now you have to buy the streaming service.
But the difference between cable and the streaming services is you can be strategic about it. So like I have my own Netflix, but I share my Hulu with my brother in exchange for him sharing his Prime with me. We all share a Disney Plus account on there. So you just got to be strategic about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, so let's talk about something that's not so fun. There's a shooting of some kids on Friday. Absolutely heartbreaking. 4-year-old Ashton Phillips is still fighting for his life.
Oh my God.
After he was shot by his mother's boyfriend on Friday, his 5-year-old brother Amir and 1-year-old brother Gabriel died after being shot. Family friend says Ashton is making progress, but it's a long road ahead of him. So 2 of the 3 kids died in the shooting, and one of them still alive. The boyfriend is in the boyfriend that allegedly shot them is in custody, and just absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, what kind of evil person? And you saw his mugshot. You're like, this dude didn't even care. Like, it doesn't even look like he cares. But just what kind of evil shoots 2?
Did they give a motivation?
What's that?
Did they give a motivation? Like what his justification was?
I don't know.
What are you gonna say that's gonna make me go, oh, okay?
Oh no, I'm
that's
not.
why
I'm just curious what his delusional reason is.
I could give a fuck if he was like, you know what? I told those kids to stop turning the fucking channel, and the next one who did, I was gonna shoot. I don't care. You shot 3 children from the ages of what 5 to 1.
I just was curious if he gave a reason. Not saying it was justifying it.
No, I didn't hear. I didn't see any reports saying what his reasoning was. I'm sure he had an issue with the mom. I mean, they were probably fighting, and I'm going to show you. Just look at those babies.
Well, they said from what I understand, they said she left them with him because she had to move some stuff. Her and her mother were moving some stuff out of a U-Haul, and like they were gone for 45 minutes. You know, I'm sure I don't care. I don't care what was going on between those 2. They need to fucking string this guy up from the highest yard arm and just.
Well, he's never going to get out of prison. Number 1, and number 2,
dude, he may not.
I don't think prison takes kindly to kid killers. So that dude's got. I think he's got a rough road ahead of him, and I think he's going to get his. And I don't think anyone's going to be sad by that. It's just an absolute tragedy.
Wow.
I guess he's got some previous stuff going on in Florida too with some kids. I don't know what exactly the charges are, but I know he's. I've heard that he is wanted in Florida for some child abuse stuff too. So.
Yeah, previous DV in Florida. Jesus, dude. All right. Weekend highlights and lowlights. Anyone got I got highlights. And I got actually mine's just highlights. I had my birthday weekend this weekend, and it was awesome. I got to spend the weekend with the kids. I had all the kids this weekend, and I had a good time.
Really, was that awesome?
I swear.
Really, is that how you wanted to spend the big one? Is that how?
Yes.
How like when somebody said, hey, Andrew, what is your wish? And don't give me that fucking old man on his deathbed want my family around bullshit. Like, what do you want on your 50th birthday? And you said, you know what I would really enjoy? Fucking pattering and tons of children around me.
First of all, I had this argument with somebody else. It was my 40th birthday.
Yeah. Your Cedar Point birthday stuff doesn't work here. It
does work.
Right.
Yeah. 2 years, you don't age like the stock market, right?
2 years ago, I was at Cedar Point, and we did the guess my age. They guessed me at 38. And if you're getting,
you realize they were looking for tips, right?
No.
That's like when they card you at Jed's.
No, they don't get tips.
First not how that works.
First off, it's 38. That's what I was at, and I will tell you that's what they do for a living. That they were getting paid to do that, so they are professionals in the age guessing business. And
yes, the 14-year-old that's working the summer at Cedar Point is really the professional in that situation.
If you're getting paid to do a job, you are a professional.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
and their job was to lie.
That's not true. They're trying to save their company as much money as possible to not give out the stuff. Yeah. So it's just not true.
Yeah.
I just love how like fervently you defend their abilities. It's amazing. Like, I'm with you, Andrew. Absolutely. I mean, I'm the guy wearing the Cedar Point T-shirt right now.
Let me ask you a question, Donny.
Andrew's right.
If there's a guy that comes here and sprays my house, like cleans it, he's a house washer. What do they call it? Power washer. He's a power washer, and I pay him for the service. He is a professional power washer.
Okay, but Andrew, here's the question. Here's the question. They guessed your age at 38.
Mm-hmm.
Did you then correct them in order to obtain the stuffed animal?
No, you have to show them your license.
So you did correct. So you corrected them, and you got the stuffed animal, which means they were wrong, and you're fitty. Deal with it.
But your age is really how people look at you is your age. I mean, that's what your age is for.
Look,
I don't think that's the way numbers work, but we'll go with it.
Andrew, fine. You're 40. My dog is 9, and you're 40. That's okay. All right. There, you guys are just the same.
All right. So I had my 40th birthday over the weekend, and my wife. So I'm on this diet thing, and I've lost like 45 pounds, and so.
Wow.
So I really didn't want to blow it as bad as I was going to this weekend. So she made me this cake, which looked terrible, and the kids wouldn't eat it. And I'm like, oh God, this thing looks terrible. Because once a year I have one cake.
You can post it on Facebook, and
it was lopsided.
Can I was like, I don't know what fucking dinosaur you had to follow around behind with a plate to get this cake. I don't know if you like.
I'm looking for a picture of it while you guys talk about it, because it is really bad.
It looked like somebody had been out with frat boys all night drinking rap. What the shit? Seriously.
So the cake didn't look good. I wasn't there when she made it. My girls were, and they were like, "I'm not going to eat that. It's a healthy cake." Blah 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 blah. Because she didn't use any regular flour or anything in it. So, and I'm like, oh God. I mean, once a year, all I want is a triple layer yellow cake with chocolate frosting. That's my cake, and you got to put frosting in the middle of each layer to hold them together, and that's my cake. And so she made it, and I'm like, so my birthday, we went out for dinner, and then the girls weren't going to eat the cake. Colleen was driving. I said, what if we get them some Lola's, some yogurt, or whatever, because they're not going to eat the cake. So we ended up going to Lola's. Colleen got Lola's, I got Lola's. So we got home, and we didn't eat the cake on my birthday. We just let the cake just sat there. So finally yesterday, I tried the cake, and it was delicious. I could not.
Yes, because it needed 3 days to settle.
I mean, you bathe anything in chocolate sauce enough, it's going to taste okay.
But that's not even real chocolate, though. It is.
God.
And I went last night and got a piece of it because I do keto, and it was so good. Like, I was messaging her after the cake, like, "Hey, my birthday's in July. I'm going to need you to make this cake."
Now, is this so good in comparison to actual cake, or is this so good in comparison to all the stuff you've been depriving yourself of all this time, and now finally you've had something sweet, and you're like, oh my God.
Stop talking. Listen. So here's the thing about when you do low carb. Nothing is carbs. Nothing. You can't, no matter what, you're not going to ever have something that's like, oh my God, this is just as good as real cake. No, there's nothing is as good as real cake. But when you cannot have cake, it is very good for it to stand in.
Well, and the other thing, the other thing too is,
so I guess it's part 2 of your question, Chris. Is
it's
good. It's not good in comparison to cake, but it's good in comparison to not eating cake.
I mean, if you can eat cake and it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't affect you or anything like that, then eat the cake. But if you can't have the cake, this is fantastic to say.
Right. Because here's the thing, like, so you get the cake with all the negative health benefits versus what I ate, and I liked what I ate. And then my mom made a vanilla one. So I had a vanilla, and it was a great week of hanging out.
Was cauliflower involved at all in this process?
Cauliflower? No, there was no cauliflower.
Thank God.
which I know anyone on keto, you could use cauliflower for anything according to those.
Like fucking, and they're like this. It's cauliflower rice. No, it's not. It's just tiny pieces of cauliflower. That's disgusting.
My brother tried to give me cauliflower mashed potatoes.
They're good.
No, it's mashed cauliflower. I ain't a baby. I don't eat mashed vegetables.
I know. Can I put a diaper on and shit in the middle of your living room while I eat this?
I mean, mashed potatoes is a mashed vegetable, Chris.
It's different. I can put gravy on it.
You can put gravy on the
You can
cauliflower.
put gravy on
potatoes,
anything.
too.
Yeah, you
Mashed
can.
Even that
cauliflower, you can do that,
nasty looking
too.
cake.
I
So
hope
that's
anybody
what that
that
was.
is looking that might want to try keto doesn't listen to you guys, because keto is an awesome diet and it's so much fun and the food is really, really good. And I get to eat things that a lot of people can't eat. And I've lost 85 pounds doing it. Andrew's lost 45 pounds doing it. So
Yeah, no, I'm a big. It was fun. It was a great weekend anyway. Anybody else weekend highlight or low light? Anyone?
Oh.
I accidentally waterboarded myself.
Did you give up all your secrets?
I did. I spilled my secrets to myself. I've been super sick. I had this cold and it was like a really nasty cold. So my nose was like pouring, like I was super stuffy, but my nose was just pouring like a faucet. So I did the whole like roll up. I couldn't sleep because I just kept having to get up and blow my nose. So I did the whole like roll up toilet paper and do the nose tampons. You know what? Anybody ever do that? Like, am I the only one?
Yes,
No.
it's called the nose walrus.
Okay.
First off.
The nose walrus.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did the nose walrus. So I had these things, but then I went to sleep because I was very medicated. I was on like 5 different meds, just anything to feel better at that point. And so I drugged
That's
myself.
why the cake tasted good.
I put nose plugs in, and then I forgot because I was sleeping, and I got up and I went to take a drink of water. So I because really thirsty because now I'm on all these different cold meds. So I start chugging my water, and then I tried to inhale through my nose, but I can't because it's blocked. And all hell broke loose. And I was like coughing and water's going everywhere. And I'm laying in my bed dying and everybody else is sleeping. So nobody knows that I'm dying. And I don't know where my phone is to call 911. It was awful. I almost drowned myself. It was a terrible experience.
Did you
So
did you not open your eyes at all during this process, or
it
was it in the
it's
dark?
in my room. I have a light
And
on.
like all right. I was just it's like right there. Like I have so many questions now. like were you wearing an eye patch? Is one of your eyes lazy? Like what's going on that like you couldn't see? Evidently the nose tampons sticking straight out of your face.
It was
Nose
dark.
ponds.
So I just reached over. I know where my water is. I reached over and grabbed my water. I undid the thing and just started chugging. And it was too late. I realized too late that I couldn't breathe through my nose. And of course, I don't know why, because I'm disoriented, because I was medicated. So I didn't know why I couldn't breathe. I just know I couldn't breathe and I was choking to death. And then at the end, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot I had these nose tampons in. And I didn't die. So that was a good thing. That was a highlight.
Thank
Well,
God.
yeah.
And then Dubs wakes up and thinks she wet the bed.
Well, he was at work, but that's why I was dying. Like I was alone. I was gonna die. That's the last thing that was ever gonna happen to me. They were gonna find my dead body laying in bed with snot rags coming out of my face.
I had a runny nose this weekend too, and I do have to say that if you read like I've been following the research, you read the COVID research. At first, any mask was better than no mask. Okay, so at least just putting something over your face, even cloth masks, they were trying to steer you away from the medical grade masks, the N95s, because there was a shortage of them and they were saving them for medical workers. So, any mask. So now they're saying, well, with this new strain, we don't want this thing to kick with these new strains. You don't want these things to kick back into high gear. So you should wear 2 cloth masks, just 2 of them at the same time.
Well, 2 layers.
Yeah, 2 layers, just to make sure.
Not 2 masks. They're saying just make sure there's 2 layers of fabric is what they mean.
Okay. And then if you can't get a medical grade, then you do that. So I read that article. We went to the mall, and then over at Forever 21, which I think again they were rated by Cedar Point on their age, because they are still 21, because that's what they look. You go in the store, they look 21. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But at the beginning, they have the surgical mask. So I had a regular cloth mask on. I'm like, hey, I'm at the mall. Here's the N95. I'm gonna grab one of those and put my cloth mask in my pocket. Put the N95 on. So I'm walking around the mall, and I was having problems with nose issues as well. Like my nose was running, and I didn't have any any Kleenex or anything, so it was running into my mask. Like I know it was the worst. Like, and then I'm trying to use the cloth mask to kind of rub it because I didn't have any Kleenex, and I'm just sitting there. It was horrible. So finally, I just took the damn thing off, used it as a Kleenex, and then put my cloth mask back on to me.
Well,
Oh, yuck. Yuck.
And
You make some other poor janitor have to clean up your snotty mask.
Just that
I
is.
think he threw it in a garbage bag,
Yes,
so it's not like he threw it on the ground.
No,
See, and I feel like, I feel like there's always somebody who can relate. I feel like you are not the only person who runs like a snot pool in your mask and is unprepared for like how to clean or empty that thing out. And it is just
For me, it's upper lip sweat, like right up in here. Like if I'm doing an activity, I get to sweat all up in here, and then it's horrible in the mask.
What kind of fucking activity are you doing that makes
Wouldn't
you
you like
sweat?
to know, D?
Yeah, I'm just asking, Chris.
Walking to his car. What do you
No,
mean?
like
But-
if I'm carrying boxes, things like that, and I get a little bit of sweat in the upper lip, but then it just compounded because of the mustache, and then I'm inside the mask, and it just makes it worse.
And then if I walk from the couch to the kitchen in my one room apartment, it's break a sweat.
By boxes, he means TV dinners. He's carrying his boxes.
Hey, I cook. I cook.
Yep. The flesh of people.
Well, I mean, aren't you curious?
Anyone else got highlights or lowlights? Are we getting
okay? What was it? Friday. I gave Cohen, like, he has a little like iPhone 6. Like it's not connected to anything. It's just connected to the Wi-Fi. And he comes up to me and he hands me the iPhone. He goes, "Daddy, I'm gonna need you to sign me into Hulu on this." And I said, "Son," I said, why do I need to sign you into Hulu on this phone? And he says, "It's for those times that you and Mommy don't want to watch the Golden Girls with me." and I said, "Who the hell are you?" like legit, like. He and I have been watching episodes of the Golden Girls for like, I want to say 2 weeks. He literally suggests it to my wife, and and to suggest Golden Girls to her is like me asking her for sex. It's like she rolls her eyes, she begrudgingly does it, and then like we get through and watch something that she wants to watch, but he has been like demanding the Golden Girls. He and Sophia have a connection, and he can't get enough of the Golden Girls.
Same.
It is.
It's sad. I think there's only one Golden Girl left, isn't there? It's
Betty
so
White, yeah.
Betty
Oh my
White.
God! Somebody posted a fan fiction idea. You guys, it's so good, but it's so emotional. It's like they want to do like a reunion show where Betty White's just sitting at the graves of the three of them, and as she put the rose on each of the grave, they go back through all the memories. And then, and at the end, she says, "Thank you for being a friend," and walks away. Is that not heart-wrenching? I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna lose my shit."
Worst idea ever.
But it would be so good. You can't tell me you wouldn't watch that.
But you know what? You couldn't. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm watching the Golden Girls, and can I just tell you, you couldn't. This is the equivalent of All in the Family. You couldn't run any of this on regular broadcast network anymore. With the things that they have said, with the things that Sophia says about Chinese people, about black people, about gay people. Oh, holy
And what's her hometown? The way they talk about, she talks about people from her hometown.
Picture it. Sicily, 1922.
Oh no, I'm talking about what was Betty White's hometown?
Rose is St. Olaf.
St. Olaf. Yes.
Why do I remember this shit?
Because it was
I haven't
awesome.
watched an episode in years.
Two things. First off, I agree, D. I've thought about this because you haven't been gone. I've been gone longer than you have from FCC broadcast radio, But some of the stuff that we say on here, and I'm like, some of it is normal conversation that we would have had on the radio. And I think about sometimes it's like, I don't think we can do accents anymore on the radio because you're making fun of people. I don't know. I just
that's why your accent's got to be bad. You can't like if you ever get a call from a guy who sounds like one of my accents, fuck him. It's directed specifically at him because nobody sounds like what I do.
And
we used to do Larry the Chinese investor.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, Andrew. You can't have an off-race person doing the accent of another race anymore. But with what D does, there's nobody. Yeah, he's covered.
There's no race. There's only those people from Avatar, and they're not going to complain.
But there are a lot of things that we say that are just not politically correct. But they're just conversations we've had my whole radio career. I just don't. I don't know. If you were to go back, I don't even know if you could have them. Like I don't even know how long we could stay on for because you have to be so.
Not even your conversations. It's the weird things you've done as stunts.
And well, yeah. And the other thing I was thinking besides that was halftime spectacular. Betty White parachutes in the middle of the fucking field during the weekend's performance.
That would be great.
That shit, people would be going, oh my God, they'd lose their shit on. That's the type of shit that you needed for the Super Bowl. And then the weekend remixes the Golden Girls theme, and then like you have flashes of the Golden Girls, like all the girls that from the show, and then Betty White comes in.
Lost it, Andrew.
Parachutes in.
Yep. You start singing "Thanks for Being a Friend," and then like Luke Combs comes in and he does it, and then we have the Migos come in, and then we just have people from all types of musical genres, and then we have like some fat opera guy who's really famous and a fat opera lady who's really famous, and they all get in, and the world's best banjoer, and then the world's best fucking what do they call that guy with the washboard player, and then
the dueling pianos,
the mouth harp.
Yeah. And then we bring in our most famous blind guy, and then we just let them all sing "Thanks for Being a Friend."
At the end, that's the fun. That's the finale. That's the finale. We're talking about bring a song that brings them together with the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, and all of them are doing it. And then you got Betty White in the front, and everyone's doing a thank you for being a friend, and that's the end of the show. Bam! People would be like, "Oh my God, this is the greatest halftime show in the history of the world."
That sounds like a good halftime show for the Puppy Bowl.
Puppy Bowl. Oh, good times. All right. Are we ready for Ebenezer Bushrod's? By the way, good morning.
Oh my gosh, it's 7:30 already. Holy crap!
Ebenezer Bushrod with the WTF news. Ebenezer, whenever you're ready.
Morgan Wallen's career is not going down without a fight. So album sales. Right after the video of him using the N-word came out, the day after spiked from the normal 5,000 a day to over 22,000 copies of his album sold.
Can we just admit a larger than we want to admit population of this country is racist?
And while his radio plays dipped down amid the controversy, his streams on services like Spotify spiked up upwards of 1,000%.
Well, yeah, because again, there's a third of this country that's racist and wants to go back to where it was before. They want to make America great again, and that's just the way. Yeah. It's just the way this country is. I mean,
some of that though might have been
Morgan Wallen really the hill you want to die on.
Do you guys think
are they going to die? Yeah.
Do you guys think that some of that though might have been like, who the fuck is that? And they streamed his music to hear it. None of it.
Maybe
because I didn't know who he was. I had to look him up.
But my point is that there is an industry where you can make a lot of money because here's the thing: 75% of people that agree that are sane, and there's a lot of fight for that market share. But if you can just be the one that goes against that 75%, there's a lot of money to be made because there's still 25 to 35% of the country that then automatically will buy your stuff just out of loyalty. Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah. So that's why the My Pillow guy and all these things will go in that extreme side of the coin, because there's so much money to be made, because these people have money and they want to throw it at anyone that supports what they support.
But so you get a consumer for life.
Yeah, they've already, there's been studies done. There's a whole cottage industry out there for going against what sane people think, and there's a cottage industry of crazy.
Are you shocked that like his record sales surged in country music? I mean, if they would have been like, you know, a whole urban swath of people just bought, like Detroit just bought all of Morgan Wallen's music, like then I'd be like, well, that's Detroit just trying to take back the word. But now, like, but this is country music. Does it shock us that like some country music fans are like, well, I'll be damned if I'm going to let him suffer for a word I use more than that.
But hold on, exactly. Hold on, it's bigger news. Hold on, breaking news. Big and Rich did not use the N-word in the song. That is because that's country music.
You know, it's just it's country music. Who gets that? They still got the Confederate flag. People drink Busch Light there like it's a wedding beer.
All right, go ahead, Ebenezer.
All right, so Valentine's Day is coming up. If you've got yourself a Valentine, you're pretty good. But you know, a lot of us are mean, spiteful people that have no Valentine, and we find ourselves reflecting on our lost loves. Well, the Lexington, Kentucky Humane Society has something for you. For just a $10 donation, they will have their adoptable kitties poop on your ex-lover's name.
That's awesome.
Their tagline, our adoptable kitties have your back and will dump all over your ex. Cats can be spiteful creatures, and trust us, they are more than happy to take a number 2 on your former number 1.
Sounds like someone at the Humane Society has an ex they don't like.
Yeah.
Exactly. They look too home for the PR department over there at the Humane Society.
So I will also.
Great.
I have 2 cats, and I will write your ex's name on a piece of paper and let them poop on it for $10. If you want my Cash App name, just let me know.
Or for free, you can just take whatever shit that they left at your house and burn it.
Yeah.
The litter boxes with the names will not be removed until after Valentine's Day.
Oh, take your own poop on it. So your ex left something in there. You poop on it on Facebook Live.
Yeah, take a dump on his name. You do it personally. Take a picture of you dumping on his name, and then send it to him or
the message.
Yeah, he'll understand what's happening, and then he'll show it to his friends and go, "This is why I left this crazy bitch."
You don't even have to send it. You just tag him in a Facebook post.
It's the shit on your ex challenge. Try it.
Shit on your ex challenge.
And somebody will take that literally and send a picture of actually shitting physically on your ex.
Yeah. And Chris will find it on the web and lose his mind when he shows it to everybody because he didn't actually watch the video all the way through.
All right, Ebenezer, what else?
So, well, speaking of internet challenges and going viral, a 20-year-old Nashville man was shot and killed on his attempt to make a viral video for YouTube. Him and a friend approached a group of people in a strip mall, both carrying butcher knives, in an attempt to fake rob people for a YouTube video. Well, one of those people happened to be a concealed carry holder and shot him dead. Yeah. So, you know, be very careful if you're trying to do YouTube pranks.
Yeah, they caught the guy that was leaving the mall to try buy the latest Justin Wallen CD. And fuck his name.
I mean, of all the pranks you can do online, approaching a random group of people with butcher knives, probably not the smartest one.
And if you're gonna approach the guy that's got the cowboy hat and the it's the wrong dude to pretend to rob.
Give me all your buckles.
He's been waiting on that.
Yeah.
He's been waiting on that shot.
He woke up today and he was just like, I hope somebody just tries to rob me with a butcher knife today. So bitch.
He has so far not been charged with any crime.
This son bitch. he puts a gun on every day.
Yep.
Wishing a motherfucker would.
Yep. His wife doesn't even have knives in the house because he got shot in the thigh one day because she was trying to butter some toast.
And every time he puts the belt, straps the belt on with the gun, he's like, I wish a motherfucker would today.
That's what his belt buckle says. I wish a motherfucker would.
So and last but not least, we all get a little upset, irrationally so, maybe at police when we get a ticket. That's no different.
White people shit. You guys get upset. I just take that ticket and drive the fuck away.
Well, an Indian man got very upset when he loaned his motorcycle out to someone else and they got ticketed, and the ticket went against his motorcycle, not the person. And so him being an employee at the local power authority decided to cut power to 2 police stations and the traffic light at which his bike was cited. And he even went so far as to go to the traffic light and pull the fuse, leaving it down for about 2 hours. Which, if you've ever seen the traffic in India, big problem.
I wish a motherfucker
would. First of all, can I just ask, who the fuck has traffic lights that you could disable by a fuse? Like, you could just walk up to it and, like, what do you do? Just unplug it from the public outlet?
He cut it off at the station. The police had to get the power authority to restore power to the police stations, and then they had to figure out the fuse was missing from the light.
No, I will not.
There's some place in India where you're still climbing telephone poles to get a phone call off.
Yeah, and what is that? What, 1 million mopeds backed up for the day? What? Like, how much traffic could you really have? 500 people who don't have to bicycle anywhere?
I wish a motherfucker would.
Sweet revenge.
Demetrius, by the way, that is Ebenezer Bushrod with the WTF News. Demetrius Nicodemus, Gina Fielding, Eastside, Southside Gina, Chris Tiefel, Donny P, Ashley P, I'm Andrew Z. See you guys tomorrow. Wish a motherfucker would. Bye, everybody.